Hello, you all. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, to be in front of all of you all, to share my story, my strengths, hopes, and success. I grew up here in Santa Maria, was born and raised. I grew up, I had, just like Pete said, I had some side of my family doing good and some doing bad, and my idols and the guys that I looked up to were just basically homeboys from the neighborhood, so, let me back up just a second here. I also had influence by my grandmother, who is still today faithfully going to church. So I started out going to church as a little boy, and then got curious about the world as I got to my teens. And when I got to my teens, I chose to be just a little too curious about what the world had to offer. So I stepped out of that church, the safe zone that I was raised up in and knowing all about, and got mixed up with the wrong group of people. At the time, it didn't seem as that they were wrong, or there was no harm, no foul, no damage done. But little did I know, it took me some years to learn this lesson. But I'm 37 now. From 13 to now, let's say this 3 years ago, I actually got the knock on the head and the vision of light of where I was at, what I was doing. Time had passed. I was addicted to drugs, alcohol, involved in gangs heavily, was in and out of juvenile hall, boys camp, went to prison in my 20s. I picked up 2 prison numbers, K96 776 and G22 375. Discharged that last one about 3-4 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. And the reason for that is because this last violation that I did under that G number, CSI was there to catch me, man. I appreciate CSI a lot. Without CSI and their helping hand and all the resources that they provided for me to utilize, I really feel and believe that they were godsend. They were a God shot, you know what I mean? My story is more faith-based today. I'm very active in my local church, Revival Tabernacle. I usher in that church. I'm a Sunday school teacher for kids that are 13 to 18 years old. So it gives me an opportunity to talk to them and forewarn them of the lifestyle and the streets and whatever curiosities they may have. I'm there to kill it in a heartbeat, So, to continue on, there was a reading today out of Just for Today that I really wanted to share with you guys. Okay? Letting go of our limitations. We don't have to settle for the limitations of the past. We can examine and re-examine our old ideas. Basic text, page 11. Most of us come to the program with a multitude of self-imposed limitations that prevent us from realizing our full potential. Limitations that impede our attempts to find the values that lie at the core of our being. We place limitations on our ability to be true to ourselves. Limitations on abilities to function at work. Limitations on the risk we're willing to take. The list seems endless. Our parents or teachers told us we would never succeed. If they told us we would never succeed, we'd believe them. Chances are we didn't achieve much. If our socialization taught us not to stand up for ourselves, we didn't, even if everything inside of us was screaming to do so. And I picked this up from Narcotics Anonymous. I learned a lot from NA, AA, and just being focused with these groups that are really, they help me to move forward every day of my life. It keeps my recovery fresh. It says, we are given a process by which we can recognize these false limitations for what they are. Through our 4th step, we'll discover that we don't want to keep all the rules we've been taught. We don't have to be the lifelong victims of the past, of past experiences. We are free to discard the ideas that inhibit our growth. We are capable of stretching our boundaries to encompass new ideas and new experiences. We are free to laugh, free to cry, and above all, to enjoy our recovery. Just for today, I will let go of my self-imposed limitations, open my mind to new ideas, and move forward. Now, if I could speak to these 2 gentlemen here, it seems like you guys got to grab a hold. You got a good hold of what I got a good hold of. Now, if we just continue on and not allowing ourselves to be set back for whatever reason, whatever we might have learned in the past, we got to do what they do to computers. Where they reboot them. You got to take all that information, all that trash, whatever we picked up, and just discard it, reboot, and whatever's good for us, we take it, we apply it, we keep moving forward. I got my old house sponsor here today, Leonard. I got his position as of today. You know, I've been there for almost a year already as a house manager to a sober living home for men in recovery. I'm able to go to the courts today. I got to see the inside of a judge's chambers when I was usually in shackles and handcuffs sitting in the courtroom. It's like, you know, the things that I'm experiencing today because of recovery, because of grabbing a hold of what was suggested that I do. I'm standing before you all today, and it's awesome. Recovery is truly, truly awesome. I get to live life on life's terms and really go through life without having to, don't get me wrong, it's not all peaches and cream, but you know what I mean? That's where I go to my higher power. I lean upon my God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, just when the world seems to be dragging me down and bringing me down, it's Wednesday, it's church night. You know what I mean? That's tonight. And also Sunday, twice on Sundays I go, so I get my fill. I get it. I grab a hold of it. And when I was spoke of that revelation, that light, that I don't have to live this way no more. I was in Soledad. I was about 3 tiers up, and I was getting pictures sent to me from the outside of my little girl walking, her first time, eating something, and just things of that nature. And it hit me hard, because I seen not too long ago, my old Sally, that, he had a photo, he had stacks, he was a lifer. And he was showing me pictures after pictures. Oh, these are the kids I left behind, and here they are today. And it was a gradual, perpetual of seeing them grow up. Here, this is her 16th birthday. This is her graduation. Here's her wedding. Here's her having kids. And I'm like, Lord, I didn't know what to do. I just was like, so I just said, enough's enough. It really starts with a made-up mind. And if we just stand true to that, make our minds up, say that's it, no more, and to humble yourselves. I know it's hard for men to do that. It was really, truly hard for me to do that. Because if you were to ask any one of my homeboys, I wasn't the humble type. I was very prideful, and there was no way he was going to get overs on me or get away with disrespecting me or anything of that matter. But that person's dead and gone. He no longer exists. What you see today is Joseph, who manages a sober living home, who goes to church on Wednesdays and twice on Sundays, and teaches Bible studies and has a Sunday school class that he's fortunate enough to teach kids to say no to drugs and stay away from the gangs and watch out for them crazy women, or crazy guys, whatever it takes. But before I leave, before I wrap this up and end my little story, I didn't want to get too much in all that I did, but here's a few quotes that I think you all enjoy. Achievement seems to be connected with action. Successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Conrad Hilton. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Henry Ford. Those who believe they can do something and those who believe they can't are both right. Henry Ford. You are never strong enough that you don't need help. Cesar Chavez. And this one, I got many favorite scriptures, but this is one that I like. It's from Apostle Paul, Philippians 4:13. I can, you can, and you can. We all can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Thank you for letting me share.